Right, well, you finally showed yourself. Now we'll get something sorted out.
Well, it's good to see you again, Mr. Smith. Well, what is it we need to get sorted out?
Well, look, it's like this. My lungs are shot. I know it. Everybody knows it, but nobody wants to talk about it, do they?
Right, I'm not sure what you mean.
You do, really. Now, don't tell me you're going to be somebody else who doesn't want to talk about the truth.
Right, well, I'll certainly try and help you more. If you can just tell me a little bit more about what you're thinking.
Oh, God. My lungs are shot, and I'm slowly dying. So just sign the papers so I don't have to go into hospital again. And I don't want any more of your treatment.
Right, so if I'm understanding this correctly, you're wanting to discuss your choices for the future. Is that right?
Yeah. Just sign the papers and get on with it. And when I say, I don't want any more of your tablets.
Right. Well, we're certainly going to try and help you. Right. I don't actually sign any papers, right? But we can go through this together today.
Yeah.
For some of the sort of things, you can tell us, like you are doing, about treatments that you would not want. And for some things, we would have to fill in some papers together, but that would be done by you. And this way, we'd know what your decisions are for a time in the future when you couldn't tell us yourself. And we actually call that when you lose capacity.
Great. Get on with it.
You seem to be in some kind of hurry with this.
Yeah, I am. But if my daughter knew, she'd want to stop it. Because she thinks I'll get confused. She doesn't know what I'm talking about. And I don't. Worse still. She thinks if I write anything down, she thinks, oh, I'm crazy. And it's all nonsense. Because I don't know what I'm talking about. And I want you to tell her that I'm not confused. I do know what I'm talking about. I can make my own decisions.
Right. Well, we can certainly get this recorded. Right. We need to make sure your daughter is aware that you are fully able to make these decisions.
How do we do that?
Well, there's now a formal process that we can go through today. I can go through this with you, right? And we can ensure you're fully able to make your choices for a time in the future when you couldn't tell us. As I said before, there are some things that you can tell us. I could write them down and put them in your records. But in fact, if there was a treatment that we would call a life-sustaining or a life-saving treatment, then you would have to fill in this form, and I can get that, and I can help you with that.
Right. You said formal. That sounds a bit worrying.
Well, the word formal might sound worrying, but it is in actual fact helpful. It's helpful to you, it's helpful to me, and it would be helpful to your daughter to know that this had been looked at very carefully. It would in fact be an advantage to go through this together, an advantage for everyone.
Right, well, get on with it then.
Well, going through it a bit at a time, we always presume that you've got the capacity to make your decisions, but I think we can agree that when you've had these infections before in the past, you've been quite muddled. So it would be very easy for us to briefly examine your chest just now, and if you did have one of your infections, we could simply give you some antibiotics and treat it, and then we could discuss this again when you're a little bit sharper. So I'd just like to listen to your chest just now.
Just get on with it then.
Well, your chest sounds fine today. You seem to be as sharp as ever and given me quite a grilling today. And you seem to have understood the conversation that we've been having very well.
Yeah, of course I have. Is that it then?
Well, not quite, but you're doing really well. You're doing really well to go through this. We need to clarify that you've fully understood the choices that you've been talking about. And I want to just explore, you said treatment, and then you said antibiotics. What exactly did you mean?
What I meant was that it's all these tablets I'm having. Oh, 20 tablets a day. And I don't want any more.
Right. Were you meaning that you wanted to stop everything?
No, don't be stupid. That killed me straight off, wouldn't it?
Right. So what exactly did you mean?
Look, it's all these chest infections, isn't it? I can't keep having them. It's just not on. And it's just not on. I want to take control of my medication, right? I'm fed up with the tablets you keep forcing on me, and I don't want any. I just want to have some control over me. What I'm having, yeah. I just want to be comfortable, and I just want to take control. That's all I want. I just want me to be comfortable, and I don't want any more of those antibiotic tablets.
Okay. Right. You seem to be very clear telling me what you don't want just now.
Well, it's my daughter who I don't say what I want now. I can't say what I want. She forces you to do things I don't want to do.
Right. Do you realise what would happen if you didn't have the antibiotic treatment?
Yeah, of course I do. I'd die, it's as simple as that. And it's fine by me, because I'd now be seeing my wife. I've just had enough.
Okay. Would you accept antibiotics if they came in the form of a liquid or an injection at the hospital?
No, I bloody won't. Absolutely not.
Right. You seem to be very clear indeed with this.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Okay. Is there any kind of problem between you and your daughter?
No, it's no problem. She loves me. It's it's just, as I said, she loves me, and she just don't want to go on. I've had enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I must say I've been able to satisfy most of what we need to do today, and I think you've done really well going through it, and thank you.
You said the word most. What do you mean by that?
Well, I'd like to come back and talk to you again to just be sure that you've remembered the choices that you've been talking about. So I'd like to arrange to see you again.
easier than I thought. When will you be coming back? You gotta make sure my daughter's not going to be here.
Well, I can come back and see you after surgery tomorrow.
Good. Good.
The thing is, you've got to remember that going through this is to help you. It's to help you with your health, but also importantly for your decisions for the future. So that if you were unable to tell us at the time, we would have recorded the sort of things you did not want. And if that's recorded clearly, nobody can disagree with it, and that's the law.
That's great. Yeah. That's good. About time too.
I feel as though I have almost completed the process of confirming his mental capacity to refuse antibiotic treatment in the case of a future infection if he did not have capacity at that time. Of course, the assumption must be that he does have mental capacity now to make these choices. However, there has been some doubt raised in view of the frequent infections which have led to confusion. This assessment will provide evidence that capacity has been assessed and will also be an excellent record for any future challenge. I just need to speak to him again to clarify whether he has retained the impact of his choices. I now need to write down our conversation carefully in the notes, with particular emphasis on my answers to the following. Is there an impairment of or disturbance in the functioning of his mind or brain? I was unsure, as he has had so many problems with infection and confusion, even though his chest is clear today. So if so, we go on to the next question. Is the impairment or disturbance sufficient that he lacks the capacity to make that particular decision? I was not sure and needed to go on to the next section. Does he understand, in broad terms and simple language, what the medical treatment is, its purpose, its nature, and why it's being proposed? He seemed to grasp this very well. Does he understand its principal benefits, risks, and any alternatives? He knew the antibiotics were for chest infections. We even discussed the options of liquids and injections, but he would not accept this. Does he understand in broad terms what would the consequences be of not receiving the treatment? He certainly knew he might die. Is he able to retain the information in order that he can consider it and come to an informed decision? I will be double checking that tomorrow. Is he able to make this choice without any outside influence? Well, this is not specifically mentioned in the Mental Capacity Act, but is part of good practice. He made this choice without his daughter present. He also denied the possibility that it might be influenced by the fact that he felt a burden. After this, I will be as sure as I can be that I have assessed his current capacity to make this particular decision. It may be useful to explore with him if he wants to let his daughter know about this choice. But that is for another day.